It's Linda with Homeschooling6.com, and today I wanted to share the teen handbooks. There's 2 of them, and I was privileged enough to help Sarah create these. It was really kind of her to let me help, so thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate that. And this one says Teen Guys. I have 5 boys, so I was really appreciative that there is one that says Teen Guys. Girls can use it too, and there's also this one where the child can actually color the cover, and this one doesn't say Teen Guys, but both of these can be used with a boy or girl. So basically, when creating this, I really loved the portfolios, but my guys needed something a little bit, I don't want to use the word structured, but where this one has the 12 subjects. So one section is going to be for history, another section is going to be for science, another one for film study. With my boys, I needed something more that was kind of one after another. So on a day, it would have all of them, not all 12 of these though, but it would have all the main core subjects on one day. And not that you have to use 10 pages a day. If that is too much for your child, make it work for you. And also, in high school, I wanted my boys to do a little more writing. They don't like to write, but I think it's something very important. And in high school, they should be upping their game in their writing. So, and also another thing is my boys aren't really big on coloring. I love all the illustrations in many of the Thinking Tree journals, but my boys aren't too big on coloring. So this one, instead of having a coloring page, there are some coloring pages in here, but it will have where you add to the drawing or the illustration, like this one, drawing time. So it still gives them that downtime, that time to just kind of rest their brain and let everything just soak in that they've been learning. But they could, just be creative on the page and add to it. So that's what my boys would do with those coloring pages anyway. So I thought this was a really neat thing to add. So you're going to have your child, your teen, go to the library, or put what they're interested in first, like many of the journals. But they're going to go to the library, check out all the books, and then illustrate here or just write the titles. My boys will probably most likely just write titles. And then curriculum choices for required subjects: English, science, history, math, finance, and economics. You don't have to use textbooks. These are some core subjects, and I think it's very important that the kids are doing these regularly. So you can use library books. Like for science, you can use Basher books, Usborne books, other library books. English, you can use Life of Fred, or if you have a textbook, or if they have an online course, and same with history and the others. So it doesn't have to be just the textbook. We use textbooks and we use library books, so we kind of just use both. Okay, so it has a start your day, and it's about 10 to 12 pages a day, but again, if that is too many, you don't have to do them all in one day. So it has write a verse or quote right here, and then pray for. You can change that to what I'm thankful for or something else. I just wanted that there so my kids will think of others and who they can pray for. Reading time, write a summary, and then illustrate. So they could pick one of their library books, read it for a while, whatever you require the reading time, and then they can write and illustrate. If they don't want to illustrate, maybe they can take a picture of the book or add something from the internet or a magazine. What did you learn about in science today? And then the other one is history. So basically I wanted these pages to have them write a little bit more because they are getting older, but kind of do like narration where they tell back their story, written narration. They can illustrate. I encourage my boys to illustrate. They don't always do that, but I really do encourage it. If you have children that don't like to draw and so forth, they can get something from a magazine, a newspaper clipping. You could even put a photo of what they're doing in here. And math, finances, and economics, my notes. Copy work, I know many people like to move on to dictation, and that's fine. You could use this page for dictation. I like my boys to continue with copy work. They kind of struggle with spelling and so forth. So, and then they're also copying things that are higher in literature from what they were doing in 5th and 6th grade. So I think that's neat. What did you learn about in English today? And if you're using a Latin program, you can write about what, sometimes there's grammar going on there, so you can have them write what they learned. I just think it's really neat for people to kind of, the kids to tell back what they are learning, so it kind of gets cemented in there. So they can illustrate, write what they learned. If you're using Life of Fred or a textbook, they can do that here. Nature study, go outside, draw what you see, and write about it. So I wanted them to go a little bit further than just illustrating, so they can kind of write about what they saw out there. The big oak tree, they could write a little bit about that. If your kiddos don't want to go out that day, they can also use picture books, books with illustrations, and then kind of write about it there. Another idea is kind of use this as a little diary for that day, what they did when they were out there, what did they see, what were their thoughts, and so forth. So just be creative and make it work for your child. You don't have to do it exactly how it's written here. Spelling time. My boys struggle with spelling, so they are going to continue with that. You can also use this for vocabulary. You would just write the vocabulary words here, and then they could write silly sentences, rhymes, poems, a short story, and use the words that they have here. And they can also illustrate it. There's an illustration or comic area down here. Film study. They could watch their film. It could be an art class that they're doing, art film, YouTube, or history, whatever. And they could write it here. They get to write a review, draw their favorite scene, and then they can rate it down there, which is really cute. And then it starts a new day. So another thing is they don't have to always use books. If they watch something on history that day, they could write about what on the history page. They can write what they narrate back what they watched. Same with science. So if they watch something on science and didn't necessarily read something, they could still use that science page and write down what they learned from the film. So I hope that gives you an idea of how to use this book. And you don't have to use it 5 days a week. You can use it 2 or 3 times a week. You can use it at the end of the week for your child to summarize what they learned that week. So just make it work for you. There's no one way to use this. So I hope that you find that helpful. Thank you for watching and have a great day.